Welcome to Moving People Forward with Mark Elfstrand. This program is a series of conversations on commonly seen challenges in everyday people's lives. We hope you'll be inspired by the stories you hear today. Perhaps you know of someone who would also benefit. Be sure to share the program link with a friend. Now, here's Mark.
Welcome, friends. How many of you like dogs? Well, I'm in that camp as I'm a dog lover. I think I've had dogs all my life. Well, what would it be like to work around dogs like almost all the time? Well, my guest today on Moving People Forward does exactly that. His name is Rich Martin, and he is director of the Canine Ministries for Lutheran Church Charities. And Rich, good to have you with us today.
Good morning, Mark.
Well, I want to go back into your background a little bit because dogs wasn't the main part of your life for a long time.
No, I had a corporate career for 34 years that I retired from, and when I retired, I made a deal with God that when I had the time, I'd like to give back. So I started volunteering with different organizations, and Lutheran Church Charities came up, and my wife Donna and I started volunteering back in 2005 around the time of Katrina.
Yeah. Well, first of all, tell me, though, a little bit about that corporate background. Who did you work for?
Limited brands, retail clothing.
Okay. Number of years, I understand.
Number of years, 34.
Yeah. So there's a big difference between being in retail and working with dogs, I would imagine.
Common thread, people.
Yeah.
Consistency.
Yeah.
Large organizations, structure. So having that kind of mindset of growing and expanding opportunity like the Canine Ministry it's been very helpful.
Okay, well, I know that there's over 130 dogs now that are involved in the program. How many when you started?
So the ministry started in August of 2008, and we started with 4. So I was working as a volunteer still at that time, and working to train dogs as well as starting to place the dogs.
Yeah, now tell me a little bit about how the dogs actually get placed. I mean, people should understand that there's a church involved in this somewhere along the line.
Right, completely different than any other therapy dog or comfort dog ministry out there. Actually, there are very few ministries that deal with canines out there. There are groups, but most of the groups are comprised of individuals with their own dogs that have had some training. And ours is one where we get the puppies when they're 8 weeks old. We started with golden retrievers and just found them to be kind, gentle, loving, non-threatening, and so we've stuck with them. And we get them when they're 8 weeks old. We place them with 2 apprentice trainers, and they work with the dogs back and forth for about a year and a half. So by the time we place them in a church, where the church owns the dog, it's about 2 years, and the dogs have over 2,000 hours worth of training. And then in the church, we work with the church to build a team around the dogs. So multiple handlers, a caregiving family, ministry partners that will go out with the handlers when they have the dogs. And the handler is there for the behavior side of the visit and to make sure that everyone's having an enjoyable time, the dog is safe, and then the ministry partner is there for the relationship side of the visit. So they're there to listen, speak as little as possible, ask questions, and then when we're led and guided by the Holy Spirit, we offer prayer.
Yeah, well, mercy, and again, compassion and presence and proclamation of the gospel, good news about Jesus are all core values of your organization. And so presence doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a professional counselor, right? You show up.
No. People really don't expect us to fix their problems. They are just so grateful that we're there and that they have somebody to share their life with, share some of the most intimate parts of their life. And I think most of the time we find people that are more willing to share with us than with a counselor or with a family member.
Yeah, now I noticed that when the dogs are out, they're lying down, not sitting for people to pet them, although you can pet them when they arrive, but they're lying down. Why is that important?
So we teach the dogs a few commands: sit down, stay, come, with me, which is our heel command to walk with the dog. And then that down position is important because nobody likes to pet an anxious dog. And so when they're in that prone position, that down position, it affords people the opportunity to really, people of all ages, kids and adults, to get down, to pet the dog, to spend that time with the dog, and not be worried about what the dog's going to do next.
Yeah. Now, we talk about the wonderful nature of golden retrievers, but quite frankly, not all dogs make the cut, so to speak.
No. We work with breeders that have a very high standard of breeding, and we look back multiple generations on their health histories, and equally important is their temperament. But sometimes you get a dog that is just not cut out for the work.
And what happens to those dogs?
We adopt them out. We have a long list of families that are interested in taking any of the dogs that don't make it here. So,
Well, one of the most unique aspects of the work that you do with the Comfort Dogs is that each of these dogs has what? Their own Facebook page?
they start out when they come in as puppies at 8 weeks old. They get their own Facebook page. They get their own business card with their Bible verse assigned to it. And
Yes.
people start following these dogs from all over the world. And by the time they're placed in a congregation, they already have a following of well over 1,000 people.
Now, how about the names of the dogs? Who gets the privilege of doing that?
It's kind of a team effort, but we work on biblical names, and we are approaching a point where that might have to be rethought out a little bit. But so all biblical names. Our Care9 dogs, when we first started with the Care9 dogs, we started with 8 dogs, and we assigned those dogs names of dogs that were killed in conflict, killed in military conflict. But we have since moved on from that.
Yeah, we should emphasize that it's not just the comfort dog as we would know them that goes into the circumstances of tragedies and so on, but you also have, a military area and also a police area for this, right?
Right. So in, I believe it was 2014, we started the Care9 military ministry. And that aspect of the Comfort Dog ministry, we look to recruit veterans, and we find that shared experience, experience in the military, no matter what branch, promotes more conversation when you're out there with another veteran. So veteran to veteran or veteran to active duty. And so when the dog goes out with a veteran, the Comfort Dog goes out with a veteran, it has a camo vest on to signify that military association. And that's been growing rapidly. And then in 2016, we launched our canine police ministry. We've just found over the last several years that the law enforcement community is under a lot of pressure, under a lot of stress. And we now recruit law enforcement, could be sheriff, state police, FBI, to be handlers. And again, it's that shared experience. And we do a lot of peer-to-peer work with the police departments now with those individuals that go out from law enforcement. It's created a great bond, and again, that shared experience you can't beat it.
We're going to take a time out, and then we're going to continue here in just a moment with our guest, Rich Martin. Rich is the director of the Canine Ministries for Lutheran Church Charities. Comfort dogs, if you will. You might have seen them on the news. They get a lot of media exposure when they go out, mainly because of the incredible connection that they have with people. What does it take to train these animals, though? We're going to explore that a bit more with our guest coming up in just a moment.
God is our safe place and our strength. He is always our help when we are in trouble. This word of God in Psalm 46:1 says it all. God is our safe place. He is our strength. He is our help when we are in trouble. Whenever and wherever we are invited, nationally or internationally, Lutheran Church Charities' mission is to bring the mercy, compassion, presence, and proclamation of Jesus Christ to those who are suffering and in need. LCC is a ministry of presence, to be present with Jesus, to lift up people in times of joy and sorrow, in prayer, and by passing through donations of dollar per dollar to those in need. Through our canine ministries, we respond and deploy with boots on the ground and paws within 24 hours, often sooner, of any crisis or disaster situation we're invited into. You see, for us, the bottom line is making a difference by being present for people who are suffering and in need with that mercy, compassion, presence of Jesus Christ. Thank you again for allowing us the privilege to stand alongside and serve others. Jesus and your partnership make that possible to touch thousands of lives.
And welcome back to Moving People Forward. My guest today is Rich Martin, Director of the Canine Ministries for Lutheran Church Charities. And we're talking again about the important work that these comfort dogs do. All golden retrievers. They have over 130 that are deployed in various circumstances around the country. And a lot of these dogs, of course, wind up being cared for in church situations. How many are here at the actual location where you train them?
Puppies that are being trained, I think right now we're at close to 20. We have 3 satellites, 3 locations. We have the one in Northbrook here, and then we have one in Grand Island, Nebraska, that works out of Peace Lutheran Church. And then we just opened one this August at Emmanuel Lutheran in East Dundee, Illinois. So we're building the teams out there, and always looking to add more apprentice trainers to our program. The apprentice trainer program for Lutheran Church Charities is a commitment. It's at minimum a 2-year commitment. It's a volunteer position. You train with a partner, so all the pressure doesn't fall on you. But what happens is with training with a partner, when you have to travel, you have a partner that can pick up the training point from that point. Also, it helps the dog because the dog is going to be handled by multiple handlers when it gets to the congregation. So it's important that the dog is comfortable being moved from person to person. Now, when they're early, in the early stages of training, that change happens every week. So when you train in pairs, you come to a class once a week, and then your partner takes the dog for the next week. And we build on a foundation of obedience. And at the end of their first year, we start to work more on distraction training, getting them out more into public places, planes, trains, airports, busy streets, sights, sounds, things that they're going to be encountering when they're placed in the congregation. But because when they're placed in the congregation, we want them to be comfortable in all surroundings with people of all ages.
Now, did you say it takes about 2,000 hours of training per dog?
Per dog.
So tell me about that program. How does that work?
So again, they bring the dog to class once a week, and then they have an entire week in between. They bring it back for an individual lesson in between classes. And so they work on those basics, and it's consistency. Any dog can be a puppy till the age of 2 or 3. And when you have a big dog, if you don't have those rules, limitations, and boundaries put in place and a consistency built into that model, you're going to have erratic results. And we can't afford to have erratic results. So it's that consistency.
Yeah, I have a little dog. He's a little rat terrier, and every time I take him out for a walk, any dog that's out there, my rat terrier, is just going to stop, study. You kind of can't even get him going again because he's so focused. I mean, how do you avoid these dogs getting distracted?
Repetition, repetition, repetition. It's all
like just pulling them back, or
it's just a gentle tug to get their attention. Maybe it's a simple no. Maybe it's just changing their direction. Just that breaking their mindset for the moment to put them in a different place and get them focused on you.
Is it hard to recruit these volunteer trainers? I mean, as you mentioned, it is a voluntary position.
It can be. I think that the more that people see us out in public, the more they want to help in some way. And there's a lot of people out there that love dogs. And when you understand and can see the fruits of your work when they get placed, I mean, you're able, through the blessings of social media, you can see the dog in so many different venues, helping so many different people, that it's a very rewarding experience. And we've had some apprentice trainers now. they're on their 5th or 6th puppy that they've raised for us, and has gone on to do great things.
Now, I know you've gone on site for a lot of these tragic circumstances. In fact, I think you even have one dog that is permanently assigned to where one of the school shootings took place. Is that correct?
So back at Sandy Hook Elementary, we were there for 6 weeks. We had no idea that we would be welcomed in such a way, but people had recognized the consistency and the care that we put into training not only our dogs but our handlers, that we were invited in to the high school at Newtown High School and then to the elementary school. And from that, from those 6 weeks, we were able to permanently place 3 dogs in that area, 2 in Danbury, Connecticut, and 1 in Newtown. And so we have Addie Comfort Dog, and then we have Leah Comfort Dog, and Maggie Comfort Dog still services the school on a regular basis.
And you can see all those dogs with their Facebook pages, right?
You can see them all on Facebook.
Yeah, just look them up. Okay, so do any of the trainers or the people that are out there on the scene ever get emotionally involved in the circumstances?
Well, they wouldn't be human if they didn't. We take a lot of care in working as a team, especially when we're out on specific deployments, whether it's El Paso or Parkland or Pulse Nightclub, Sandy Hook, to do debriefs at the end of the day. And throughout the day to check in on each other to make sure if there is any kind of emotional distress or certain situation that's come up that's been unsettling, that we can talk about those things and address them right away. And then we also offer chaplaincy services after deployments for those teams that feel that they might need a little more of a follow-up. But
Well, I know that the nightclub shooting that in Florida that took place, a couple of years ago, I guess now, or I can't remember the exact date, but that maybe some people would be surprised that a ministry was going out to a club that maybe didn't have obviously an association that would be related to the church, but that was greatly appreciated, as I understand.
we still have a great following from the community in Orlando after that shooting. And when we go out, we love all, serve all.
Yeah.
We never know who the Lord's going to put in our presence.
Yeah.
To be there for that moment and to bring them the mercy and compassion and love of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And the rest is up to the one above.
Yeah. All right. So if I was considering, like, this sounds interesting, I might want to be a volunteer, what type of person are you looking for?
So obviously, you don't have to have a deep background in any kind of dog training because we do all that. Yeah. We help and assist you and lead you along the way. Flexibility, availability is a key. You can work, but it just depends on your work situation. If you're able to take the dog out during the day, or if you have a partner that can take the dog out during the day. So it's not a one size kind of fits all. It's how it fits into your life and the commitment that you want to make, because it is a big commitment to be there, to be consistent, to have some structure in your DNA, in your own DNA, that you can work in a structured atmosphere.
And I guess it would help a lot, if you like dogs.
Helps a lot if you like dogs. And we provide all the tools necessary. So outside of your time commitment, there is no cost.
Yeah. All right, Rich, so you're not moving towards comfort cats right now?
No cats, no cows.
No cows, not even the comfort horses. I think I just saw an article about comfort horses the other day. So, yeah, very good. Well, it's probably been quite a shift from the corporate world for you.
It has been very rewarding, very humbling.
Yeah.
And it's just pretty amazing that, God's creation, was given to us in such a way that it could be used as a bridge to bring the mercy and compassion of Jesus Christ to those who are suffering and in need.
All right, so if anybody is interested in finding out more information, how do they reach out to you?
Well, they can go to our website, LutheranChurchCharities.org, and go to the Canine page and click on the apprentice trainer.
Okay, LutheranChurchCharities.org. Thanks for giving us some insights into your world on this.
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, good to be with you. Rich Martin, Director of Canine Ministries for Lutheran Church Charities, the very well-known team of canine comfort dogs. Thanks for joining us today. And Mark Elfstrand here. See you next time on Moving People Forward.